Glasgow, the infernal city, a confusion where two factions are united in their glorious distrust of each other, and whether they adhere to the law of the jungle or the Sermon on the Mount, Florida end. The prayers of the faithful stood towards a strangely Scottish nirvana. Our Father, who art in heaven, what team do you support?
And that's my son, James Simpson, Craig, Gemmell, Murdoch, McNeil, Clark, Johnson, Wallace, Chalmers, Auld, Lennox, substitute Fallon, Lourdes. I was going to add Estrel after the stadium like, but in the end, I just thought it was a bit stupid.
Yes, I'm a Rangers fan. I'm showing a consequence of this. It's very proud of me to own this League Cup winners medal. John Gregg gave me that. You see this? John Brown gave me that. You see this? Duncan Ferguson gave me that.
So much for the fans. What about the players? The soccer soldiers, the game's gladiators who have entered the arena and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah, for sure. Passions run high. In fact, in my first Old Firm game, I was sent off. And all I was doing was playing my normal game. Putting my foot in the balls and stamping my authority all over the midfielders.
Could be. Sometimes. Then again, maybe.
Oh, brilliant. I used to love playing against the Celtic. Used to have some time in the dressing room. The big dandy, Evil Happy Brandy.
Don't you mean Ralphie Brandy?
No, I came what I mean, son. Come out with your pipe here.
Well, I was the either called Quality Street Gang because they paid us sweeties. I used to love the Old Firm matches. They were unbelievable. The tension, the noise, lack of movement, sudden bursts, runs. But once you actually started playing, your bowels settled.
So with both armies entrenched at either end of the ecumenical tightrope, would anyone ever have the balance, the bottle, or the bampotery to make the precarious crossing from one side to the other? The answer was yes.
I think I know the incident to which you refer. It was alleged that when visiting Parkhead whilst a Rangers player, Maurice Johnson committed the provocative acts of spitting on a Celtic club crest and stotting the ball off a Celtic team photo. I've asked Maurice about this. Maurice Johnson is a man of honour, a man of principle, a man of his word. He says he did do it, and I believe him.
Aye. Hearts is the only team I've ever wanted to play.
Maurice, shut it.
Raged on, the former rival managers at least could body swerve the turmoil and discuss their menu for success at a local restaurant.
So, Liam, obviously I take it you're particularly enjoying your new job, summarising the Italian football, particularly in Italy.
Ah, it's a breath of fresh air, Walter. I mean, take the rivalry of the Milan Inter fans. They're nothing like the Old Firm fans who loathe, hate and knock hell out of each other for purely religious reasons. Now, they loathe, hate and knock hell out of each other for purely football reasons.
I'd bet the Rangers fans would love to see that.
Ah, the brilliant football.
No, thousands of Tims knocking hell out of each other. Obviously, particularly Liam, at the end of the day, your fate is in the feet of the players.
And of course, if you want to buy new players, you're faced with the problem of raising money.
Well, you know, obviously, particularly in that area, we've got no problems. If I need money, I call a lodge meeting of the Rangers board. I mean, you know, come up with a scheme.
Yeah, well, when I needed money, I contacted the DHSS and they came up with a crisis loan.
Why didn't you get in touch with prominent Celtic men? Ask them to help you out. I mean, you could have written to Billy Connolly.
Don't know his address.
Oh, phone Sean Connolly.
I don't know his number.
Oh, fax the Pop.
Well, that's the King Billy, too.
Well, Davy, this game is definitely swinging Rangers' way. What a great goal for Celtic.
Yes, Archie. Hello, Archie. Well, Archie, to be perfectly honest, Archie, it was a tremendous goal, but...
Sorry to interrupt you, Davy. What were you saying?
I said, Archie, I felt Celtic deserved the goal.
Well, I can't disagree with you that, Davy. Rangers don't deserve to be one down. And now Peter Hoostra. To Crenny. Back to Hoostra. Oh, Mikhailchenko nearly, almost. It's pushed in, knocked back. There's a neat touch, and now Bonner has it. Gives it back to Ali Maxwell on the very stroke of half-time with, I make it 5 minutes to go to the interval. Davy Provan.
Yes, Archie, tremendous goal, one Rangers richly deserved.
Well, I can't agree with you there, Davy. I think Rangers richly deserved that goal. And now Celtic have to throw it. In line with the halfway line. I'd say about halfway up the park. Looking from right to left. And Nicholas Camley steps up to take this penalty. He runs up and... Davy, what about this new Celtic away strip?
Yes, Archie, a tremendous strip.
Well, I'll hand you back to the Radio Clyde studio, but join us for more commentary in the second half. But at the moment, the score is Davy.
Archie.
Davy.
Tremendous.
Super Daily Ranger.
Hi, I'm Mark Haitley, and in my book, I'll be telling all about the tailor who ruined my England career. And the tailor who ruined my dress sense. My book is out now, and it's just like me, in a ridiculous jacket.
Stunning double from Mark Haitley with Charlie Nicholas getting the consolation goal to make it 3. Davy, were you about to say something?
To be honest, Archie, no.
Oh, fine, carry on then.
Well, I'm just going to say, Archie, that as you watch this match, you just can't help thinking that...
Sorry, Davy, you were saying?
Yes, Archie, thanks. I was just wondering how healthy this sort of atmosphere really is.
Well, Davy, speaking as a neutral of... Oh, glorious little goal for Rangers!
Well, to continue our in-depth coverage of Scottish football, here's a quick roundup of Division 1 and Division 2, and that gives us much more time for this.
You just can't keep them out of the news, can you, Tim?
And we look at the main contenders for our Sports Personality of the Year.
Yeah, you just can't keep them out of the news, can you, Tim?
Right, competition time. And if you remember, last week we asked you which school of philosophy holds that man's freedom to act as he wills is the source of his anguish. And of course the right answer is the existentialists, but we also accepted Rangers. And the first 3 entries out of the hat with the right sounding names were Billy King from Lark Hall, Hunter Maitland from Lark Hall, and Graham from Lark Hall. On to next week's competition. Who was Rangers' top scorer last season? Was it A, Ali McCoist, B, Ali Maxwell, or C, Stuart Slater, who we know played for Celtic, but this is too good an opportunity to miss, slagging off his woeful scoring record.
Donald, yes, Donald. Well, Donald. Vandalism in any shape or form cannot be condoned, but there are those who feel that what Rangers did to combat this was not so much anti-Vandal as simply anti-Celtic.
I will admit it is a pity that in order to punish the guilty, we have to take it out on all of the Protestantly challenged. But, Davy, if you invite someone to your house and they destroy it, you don't invite them back.
Absolutely. And if you invite someone to your house and then nut them, you can't be keeping a very orderly house.
Now,
But moving on, Donald, I think you'll possibly be the first to admit it's been a scandalous year for the club.
Well, this is true. We've had our alleged problems splashed all over the newspapers, but we're not taking this lying down. Writs have been served and we plan to sue for slander.
The journalists who expose stories about the players.
the historian who claimed King Billy was gay.
Now more than ever, the fans too have their say.
Walter, recently ex-Celt, and let's not forget it, Tommy Burns, said Scottish football could end up like the Irish League. I mean, what a cheeky bosom, eh, Walter? Anyway, Walter, what about Big Mark? He buys a new jacket, he buys a copy of the big issue, his dad visits him, and he eats pasta. Just some of the big important stories that have been featured this year in the official Rangers magazine, The Daily Record. The big question is, Walter, Big Mark, he's brilliant, isn't he?
Honestly, Mark's had a particularly good season. He's been scoring goals as fast as the Scotsport cameras can miss them.
I was speaking to Coyce the other day, and what a character. By the way, Walter, why was Andy Gorham dressed as Broxy Bear at the last Old Firm game of the season?
Because it's the only thing that we've got that fits him.
Anyway, Walter, yet another great season with the promise of more to come. I have to say, Walter, thanks to you, it really is great being a proddy.
But is non-qualified.
Well, I'm fitter than ever. Apart from me legs, my stamina's good. I can go a full 20 minutes without swearing at the referee, and anybody who's played against me will notice the sharpness of my elbows.
Mom, I'm sorry, I don't follow your line of question at all. I mean, what are you asking me? Is Gascoigne daft as a brush? How daft is a brush? I don't know anything about brushes. I'm a manager. What better wear, man?
A lot's been made about me hair. First it was white, then it was black. But it's now back to its natural colour, Newcastle brown.
The match in Turin was obviously the lowest point, particularly as the Italians were up to their old tricks. The fans were throwing coins, which was, you know, particularly distracting to Andy Gorham. He started collecting them.
Right, quick impression. Rude gullet.
Well, of course, when I first came to Scotland to play for Rangers, I had no idea of the Catholic and Protestant rivalry between the old firm. You see, back home in Denmark, we do not have bigotry. Not since we drove all the Thames into the sea.
Some people have questioned Goffey's decision to leave Rangers at the end of the season, but I just feel that it's time for him to move on. After all, he's now achieved every possible headwind in the Scottish game.
Well, you know, about my personal problems, we are a very special person in my life, but I've been having counselling, things are improving, and hopefully very soon, like, Coyce and I will be pals again.
Well, you know, obviously, particularly good news is that Andy Gorham can get back to full-time training this week. That's the school's October week over.
Rangers Supremo David Murray, I'm sure you would agree with me by agreeing that Scottish football, especially the kind you get in Scotland, has failed its MOT and is in urgent need of desperate repair.
Well, Chick, no, sorry, I don't really understand what you're talking about.
Sensational. David, would I also be right in thinking that so concerned are you with things that concern you that you went to Celtic Park for lunch with them? And I'm sure the Rangers fans would like to know, by wanting me to ask the burning question, one of the burning questions, quite possibly the burniest questions of them all. David, no holds barred, Tora, 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 here it comes, at the Celtic Park Summit. What did you have for your pudding?
I don't think we had a pudding. Fergus and I were too busy discussing important matters like the present league setup, which both clubs do.
Ever the diplomat. So, Dave, in the absence of a sweet trolley, did you go for the cheese board or coffee and mince?
I think it was coffee and mince, but what importance is it?
Unbelievable. So, how many mints, eh? Go on, tell us. 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes. 9, get it? 9.
I don't remember, to be honest. I feel the whole 9-year-old thing is getting out of hand.
Absolutely, David. It's well out of order. I blame the media. They're totally obsessed with it.
I like to practice my ball control. In the morning, I dribble around the Rangers defenders, and then in the afternoon, I like to make it a bit more difficult. So I dribble around the traffic cones.
Is that us, Billy? Right. David, see next time you're talking to him, going to get his Sean Connery's autograph.
So, Paul, you know this imaginary flute you were playing?
Aye, boss.
No, son. I'm afraid because of your conduct, I have to deduct an imaginary fine.
OK, Gaffer.
Personally, I'd like to thank Mr. Ruud Gullit, Mr. Gianluca Vialli and Mr. Gorgonzola for the very generous offer to take me from Rangers and Scotland. All the uncertainty and speculation their attention generated gave me a great excuse for being pish all season.
Lodo, Lodo, why hast thou forsaken me?
We've had our problems, you know, but, you know, we've still got an impressive squad of foreign internationals. Gascoigne's got the Rangers record number of England caps. Laudrup's got the Rangers record number of Danish caps, and Andy Gorham's got the Rangers record number of Dutch caps.
Well, you know, there's been a lot of transfer speculation about me, but, you know, to be honest, I'm actually thinking of packing in football altogether, you know, so I might just stay with Rangers.
To be honest, it'll be strange to leave Ibrox. In some ways, the Rangers team are closer to me than my children.
Why is that?
Because I've carried them for longer.
Gaffer, how come it's not all right for me to have a flute, but it's okay for you to have an oboe?
What? No, Paul. I wasn't given an oboe. I was given an O-B-E.